So this is an application for a spouse open work permit. The applicant has been living in Canada since 2023 January on a spouse open work permit based on the wife. And when the wife graduates, she graduates in April 2024, and both of them apply for her and the dependent spouse work permit by filling the form number 5710, which is an in Canada application, which is a pretty standard application. After about 2 weeks, on June 13th, the wife receives an in-principle approval to continue working while her PG work permit is being processed. There's no other information given to the husband. So this is what it is written in the application, and she continues working. So what happens later on in November of 2024, the 28th November, the wife PG work permit was issued and the valid for another 3 years. That's good. Everything is standard. Till that time, there's no other information about the applicants with the husband's application. Now in December, December 7th of the same year, after close to about 10 days after the wife receives the PG work permit, the IRCC sends an applicant an email assigning him a new work permit number. Uh, the IRCC acknowledges that the file number was issued to correct an administrative error. Now, what that error is, it's your own imagination. They may have misjudged the applicant's application in a wrong category and issued a wrong work permit number, but we don't know. But the new work permit was number was issued, and that's what they got. So the old work permit file number is gone, and by December we have a new work permit number. Uh, After about 6 days later, the applicant receives another email from the ATIP division saying this: please accept our apology for inadvertently sending you the package containing information pertaining to another individual and for inconvenience this may have caused. We don't know who applied for ATIP information or why was the ATIP information sent about a different individual, perhaps matching the name. And actually, the applicant discloses to me that nothing was received. So that's the reality. In January of second on 2025, the applicant starts asking for updates on the IRCC web form, and I will show you some screenshot down below. In April of 2025, the applicant contacts the local member of parliament office to get an update. They collect all the file work and they say, okay, we'll find something for you, and they start calling their own hotline. In May, the member of parliament office informs that his application is now not in Canada. We have a new application number, and that application is pertaining to the application which is now transferred to overseas office in America. All right. So this is what they're saying, but orally, but they have no written document to hand over to the applicant. So the applicant does not know anything just beyond oral message on the phone. All right. Uh, and this was as I said earlier, this was on May 1st, and on May 13th, there's a letter coming from the Canadian consulate in New York, telling him that his biometric information is valid till such and such date. Now, this letter is usually uh, issued by the overseas visa office when they are looking at some TRV application and when they have, uh, you know, refused the application. So that is my assumption, but we don't have a refusal letter yet. This application may have very well been refused, but we don't have the refusal letter till date. And on 28th of May, the MP office confirms that the application is indeed refused and they are applying for reconsideration. No information is given on why the reconsideration is being applied, on what grounds, and they did not hand over any confirmation on any written message or something that to the applicant that the reconsideration was. Is all happening on the phone. All right, and till date today, July 10th. There's no final letter yet. All right, so let me just show you some questions that I have mentioned. Now, if you are an immigration consultant and if you have handled these kind of things before, you will understand that sometimes mistakes do happen. My purpose is to highlight that the mistakes are human, and immigration department sometimes will make mistakes. So yeah, you have to be vigilant on on what is happening to your application. So my first question was, when the file number was changed, how was the error made, and why was the applicant not informed earlier? Why did they have to wait till several months to, to give them the file number? We don't know why, but this is a question for them. We don't know why the file number was changed, perhaps due to a mismatch of the name, but they had the USAID number that was issued to the applicant several years ago. They had the USAID number. How can they mistake that applicant for somebody else? But strangely enough, the new application number also corresponded with the same USAID number. So it is mind-boggling to understand that perhaps with the same name, two applicants have the same USAID number. I mean, this has happened many times, in my own practice, and this may have been, something to look at this point of time. As far as ATIP application is concerned, who applied for the ATIP and Privacy Act on the applicant's behalf? Because they sent him an email saying that, hey, you requested the ATIP application, we sent you a wrong package, and with the same name, by the way. But the applicant says we received nothing. So I don't know how did ATIP got involved in this application itself. So perhaps the other person may have applied for ATIP, and that ATIP may have been purported to send to this applicant, and we don't know. There's a lot of mystery behind what's happening there. The MP office applying for reconsideration, we don't have any official confirmation. And reconsideration is not something you just say on the phone that hey, please apply for reconsideration. I mean, we need to have some kind of logic or regulation or reference to an act or reference to a mistake done by visa office or something that will challenge the decision making of the office to say, hey, please reconsider this. But nothing was provided from the MP office. The application was indeed refused, as we understand by now. But why was the application refused? Either it was based on lack of jurisdiction, because if the internal application from the IRCC is sent to overseas visa office, I mean, they have no jurisdiction to adjudicate this application, so they must refuse it. Second, if the application is indeed a application for TRV from overseas, and why would they refuse it? Did the applicant meet all the requirements, or perhaps the requirements of C41 change in January 2025? As you can understand, this application was filed in 2024, and by the time May of 2025, the lot of requirements did change. So if the new application was categorized in 2025, is it possible that they were looking at the new requirements of C41? So that would have led to the cancellation. We don't know. There are a lot of open-ended questions here. I've already talked about reconsideration. We don't know why was the reconsideration applied or on what grounds. We have no idea. Even if I consider that the visa was overseas visa, it may have been a recategorized as an overseas visa. How will that affect the applicant actually leaving Canada and going to US to get the visa stamped and re-entering again? I mean, by the time he would already be, perhaps overstayed, to leave Canada and then risk of re-entering. It's just a risky. It's a lot of open-ended uncertainty in what will happen to this to the CBSA port of entry, examination. It is quite dicey to have if at all somebody decided, no, this is a application from overseas, on what grounds did they decide it? This doesn't make sense to me. So these are the questions that we have, and I want to show you some the application, the screenshot. It tells you everything what happened, and this all starting from January 2025 till now. All of them is IRCC updates from the web form, and but no answer yet. And the applicant called many times to the toll free number, and the customer service people had no information. Multiple times they inform the applicant, hey, your application is overseas, we have no access to it, you need to call New York. And then New York says, hey, sorry, no response. I mean, they don't respond to anything. So here's the outcome. It is quite a tragedy. The applicant is waiting for getting the C41 spouse open work permit. Due to somebody's mistake, the application is recategorized, reassigned a new number, and thrown to an overseas visa office where it was presumably refused. And we don't have a decision letter yet. And the applicant is now wondering, can he continue working because his time is ending because his, and I don't have the date right now in front of me, but his spouse work permit is I think it's ending in another month or so. So after that, with no refusal letter, no decision letter, his working ability in Canada is in jeopardy because if the decision letter is issued and is refused, then he must apply for restoration, and the restoration may take about 3 to 4 months or maybe even longer. Then he loses his ability to continue working. If it is not refused, then he cannot file a second application because the first application is gone into a black hole. We don't know what happened to that application. So this is what I wanted to share with you. And if you have any feedback or comments or so, if you add in any other similar application that you heard of, then I would love to see your comments. Thank you very much. Take care.